There are three major trends of self-reinforcing exponential growth happening on planet Earth at this time, all of which are destructive in nature if taken into that elbow of change that exponential curves do. Exponential growth tends to be kind of unexciting for a little while as the trend doubles and doubles again and doubles again every certain period of time. And eventually, on the linear graph, the change takes off into a kind of a hockey stick shape of excitement and revolutionary or just profound, rapid change. So the ones that I'm talking about here for the ecological reality of Earth are human population growth, the growth in the economic system. In other words, there's more and more money that's owed to be repaid all the time. And that economic activity, of course, takes resources. So on a single planet, it's not sustainable. And the third one, which we need to see how it will play out, is technological advancement. New technologies enable other more fantastic technologies, and we're coming to that elbow of change in terms of technological abilities in artificial intelligence, robotics, and many other fields, biotech, nanotechnology. These things are on the cusp of happening, and they have amazing potential to reduce suffering, and they have a lot of inherent danger as well because they're so powerful. Some say as dangerous and powerful as nuclear weapons. So these three exponentially growing trends, all of which create challenges for civilization, and a lot of species on the planet are going extinct and suffering from these three exponential changes of growth. But the important thing for me to keep in mind when I despair or am concerned about these three and other related changes is that we also have a very powerful self-reinforcing exponential change happening in consciousness. What do I mean by consciousness? When I raise my consciousness, I become more aware of more of the world, more of the universe. I become aware and take actions consistent with an identification beyond this fleshy envelope. And the energies available to me rise up through the chakra system and enable me to see things in a new way and to act in new ways, and perhaps most importantly, energetically support others in their lives of spiritual practice, in their lives of taking actions for the benefit of others, and the energy of peace itself is not an individual thing. There's no such thing as individual peace. There's only peace. And that peace that we bring, or rather we realize within ourselves as we release some of the turmoil of the illusions of individuality, as we realize more profound levels of peace in ourselves, it affects everyone. It allows everyone to take the steps that they need to find their own peace and raise their own consciousness. And so the most powerful social activism and environmental activism, in my understanding, is spiritual activism. Raise your own consciousness so that you can support others in raising theirs, and so on. Because information alone doesn't engender change. I've seen this over and over and over again. If you could simply tell someone at the rational level what makes sense and have them change their behaviors because they just can't deny the rationality of it, then we'd have global peace and harmony now. There would be no one starving to death. It makes no rational sense. And so even at the global and conceptual level, if you think about it deeply, you will know that information, education at the intellectual level, it's not enough. You need to be ready to hear something. You need to be ready to make a change. You need to be willing to accept that what you have been doing and what you have been thinking wasn't really quite right. It wasn't really for the greatest good as much of the time as it could have been. So that when the new information comes to you, it resonates. It triggers something that's already latent within you, in your consciousness, in your energies, and you can take those actions because they're already in you. You're ready. And so when we create relationships with each other in meditation sanghas, churches, communities, geographical and work communities, when we work within them to communicate, we're also bringing our energies to them. And so if you sit at home and meditate every day and expand your awareness as you shed some of the illusions of individuality, then you will contribute just as much, if not more, as if you sit at home and communicate and build this intellectual understanding of our problems and potential solutions. If you enjoyed this video and it resonated for you in some way, I hope that you will find yourself practicing spiritual practices more often with more wonderful groups, and give me a thumbs up down below. Subscribe to my channel so that you can see future videos, and tell your friends about my videos and other wonderful resources from other teachers so that they may be triggered in their actions that they're already energized to take.